Hi, I'm Nirmitsana Goyal, and in this video, I'm going to break down 5 major objections that you, as a salesperson, as a coach, or as a business owner, get to hear every now and then. Make sure to save this video because this video is going to make money. And if you don't know how to handle these objections, you are going to leave money on the table every week. Objection number 1: it is too expensive. Now, this is so untrue because you'll see the same person splurging money on other places, be it hotels or parties or moving around in expensive cars. So he has the money. The only thing is that he doesn't see the worth in what you're selling. One fine day, you'll find that the same person has brought the same product from someone else, and you'll be heartbroken. Now, what to do about it? First of all, you need to show the ROI, the return on investment. Instead of showing it as an expense, show it as an investment. The second thing is break it down into smaller elements. If he's not ready to take all the elements, you can still sell some of the elements to him. Or if you break it down into the elements, then he can see the worth of each and everything. And then it will be more convincing. You should be ready to downsell certain things so that in case he's not taking the entire program, he can still take some part of it or a lower program, and later on when he builds trust, he can upgrade to the higher one. Objection number 2: give me more information or send me the price sheet. Now, this might look like interest, but actually it's a soft pass. The mistake that most salespeople do is that they send the PDF, case study, or sometimes even the entire deck, and then there's silence from the other side. Now, what you can do instead is you can say, what is the exact information that you're looking for so that I don't send you the wrong information. Now, two things will happen when you do this. One, you will qualify the lead. At times, people take your entire offer, all the details that you're offering, and try to get a better price from somewhere else. And the second thing is that you are in control of the sales process. You know exactly where the client is stuck and you can clear that. Objection number 3: we're already working with someone. Now, this is not an objection. This is not even a rejection. This is an opportunity because this person already knows the value of investing in this kind of work. You don't have to sell that to him. All you need to see is what is working and what is not working. So here's what you're going to do. Ask him, so what is working in that area and what is not working? You have to find that gap where it is not working and fit your services in that gap. Start with a small project, and if you do a mighty good job, who knows, you'll get the whole category. Objection number 4: we don't have the time. Now, this might sound final, but it rarely is. Because what is happening is the client is either overwhelmed, or he doesn't know where to start, or he's really overloaded and didn't want to commit more. Now, here's what you can do here. You can help him out. Say something like this, that what if in these 10 minutes I can help you with something small? What is the biggest challenge that you're facing which we can solve in these 10 minutes? Make it a small win for him. And then he gets softer and he thinks like this, oh, in 10 minutes we could solve this problem of mine. What if I sign this person up? Objection number 5: I'll think about it or I'll ask my partner. Now, I have done a whole video on I'll think about it. So here I'm going to talk in detail about I'll ask my partner. Now, what is happening is this is like a soft pass again, a safe exit. I'll ask my partner, and then they never get back to you. So here's what you can do. You can say, just so that I can help you out, let me know what your partner would be thinking. So now, the partner ka to bahana tha, his real problems or his real concerns will surface. So it will either be about money, or it will be about value, or it will be about commitment. So you can handle that. In some cases, partner or co-founder is really a part of the decision maker. Again, it is important to understand how he would be thinking. So what would your partner be thinking about, or what would your partner be asking, or what are the details that he would be looking for? You can ask these details and you can say, maybe we can meet again along with your partner. It's important that you meet with both the decision makers together. Or you can say that, okay, can we have another meeting and we can have your partner on Zoom with us? Best is from a meeting, book a meeting. Because if you don't book the next meeting, then you can keep on waiting endlessly. So this is how you handle the 5 biggest objections in sales. And if you found this video helpful, subscribe and leave your biggest objection in the comments. I'll try to give you the exact line that you can use and how to handle it. And if you want to learn to sell more using storytelling, then join the program Sell More with Stories, and I'll see you inside.